So these are the 4 things that the movie Stree and the whole series taught us something about talking to the entities. By the way, this reel is in collaboration with all the other entities that came to me in my dreams last night, and it was a brilliant idea. So point number 1 is, what is the point of avoiding them? The whole movie Stree is based on the idea where people keep saying and writing on the walls that "Oh Stree kal aana."
तो भाई इन 4 दिनों में दरवाजे के बाहर लिख दो, "ओ स्त्री कल आना", और घर के अंदर कंबल ओढ़ के राजा की तरह रहो, कुंडी लगा के।
Which is like, मुझे अभी आपसे बात नहीं करनी है, मुझे आपसे डील नहीं करनी है, प्लीज मेरे से अभी इंटरेक्शन मत करो, and we will deal with you tomorrow, or we will deal with you later. So essentially avoiding them, asking them to go away or talk to somebody else, all of that stuff doesn't really help. It's more like a temporary solution, but long term के लिए not the greatest idea, because eventually गोल घूम के उनको बात आपसे ही करनी है. So they're going to come around and keep hanging out around you. Point number 2. Fear isn't really helping you. So with India, we are very well known to be driven so much around superstition. And superstition basically comes from the entire area or place where we lack education. So if you don't know about a particular subject, guess what you will end up doing? You will speculate, you will consider the worst, you will think of all the possible scenarios, but you will never really look at the actual picture है क्या.
हमें लगता है आप ही ने जैसे फालतू बातें फैला के ना शेर का माहौल खराब कर रखा है.
Like, what is really happening in the background here, or like what is the actual story of the situation here? So getting superstitious and forming stories, not helping. Point number 3. So the main character of the movie, Vicky, no matter how scared he was, he knew to take off his filters.
मारना जरूरी है क्या? बेचारी इतने प्यार से लेटी हुई है. इस शेर वालों ने भी इसके साथ ये सब किया था, और हम भी वही कर रहे हैं. क्या फर्क है फिर हम में और इन लोगों में? कोई मजबूरी होगी ना इसकी, जो तुमने प्यार को ढूंढने के चक्कर में ये सब कर रही है. छोड़ देते ना प्लीज.
It's pretty sad to assume that an entity is only coming around you to harass you or scare you or do something bad to you. Like, the whole story is driven by the entire village having a lot of superstition, a lot of stories, without knowing what is really happening, why this entity or the ghost is acting the way she is. And at the end moment, in the climax, he refuses to actually buy into all of that and really have a conversation with the woman, like, hey, I'm sorry, I actually want to look at what and address what is really going on with you, and I do not want to treat you on basis of assumption of what people have told me how to deal with you. I really want to just have a conversation. So taking off your filters with anything, and especially with entities, will sort of open up a different door for you to look at things in a different perspective than what is fed to you. Point number 4. Not all entities can be classified into good and bad. So if you see the first movie, the entity which is driving it majorly is the Stree character, which is actually quite complex if you see. Like, she has her own backstory, she has anger, she is upset, she has a lot of love. So there's a whole range to her. And if you see the second movie, Stree 2, there is the entity that you're dealing with is a classic a-hole. Basically the similar kind of attributes that he had when he was a human. So all entities will present a range very similar to when they were actually in their bodies. So to deal with them, it's not really as simple as putting them into, are you a good entity or are you a bad entity? Because there is really no such thing. Just like with human beings, you wouldn't have like a clear slate, black and white, of are you a good person or are you a bad person based on 1 or 2 attributes of them. So with dealing with entities, you have to learn and understand how to deal with each one of them, just like you would deal with human beings. अगर entity से फट रही है, then always remember, fear is something that will distract you from the real picture of what is actually happening. So get curious, get interested, learn and educate yourself. And if you like this, please follow for more and let me know in the comments below what else you would like to know about entities.